Elon Musk has just decided to give another $100 million to Donald Trump. Interestingly, a lot of this money is going into Trump super PACs that Trump can then extract the money from if he leaves office. I say if he leaves office because we all know that he has been talking a lot lately about never leaving office, so we'll see what happens. But this is pretty unprecedented. The headline in the New York Times yesterday, Musk seeks to put $100 million directly into Trump political operation. Now, you're seeing the evidence of this. Yesterday, last night was the vote on this continuing resolution to keep the government open. Now, if this was a clean CR, CR is, short for continuing resolution. If this was a clean CR, in other words, if all it said was, we're just going to keep the government operating exactly as it is until September, until the end of the fiscal year, the Democrats would not have a problem with it. But what they did is they said, we're going to keep the government operating just like it is, but we're going to add additional authority to Elon Musk and Donald Trump to slash our federal agencies. And for that reason, the only Democrat in the entire House of Representatives who voted for this was Jared Golden. Jared Golden is, famously one of the big-time on-the-take Democrats. Cross my palm with cash, lobbyists, please. Him and Josh Gottheimer and these so-called problem solvers and the AIPAC Democrats and whatnot. So that was it. And there was only one Republican who voted against it. And that's probably the bigger story because Elon Musk and Donald Trump now have this, $100 million. Well, actually, it's multi-hundred. There's some reports saying that Trump is sitting on as much as $600 million right now that he can use to primary anybody. I mean, Thomas Massie, I told you yesterday, the day before yesterday, Thomas Massie, the Kentucky Republican who likes to send out pictures on Christmas of him and his 3 or 4 kids, each one of them holding an AR-15. He said he was going to vote against it because he doesn't like continuing resolutions. Trump called him up and said, okay, we're going to primary you. In fact, he didn't call him up. He said it publicly. We'll primary Thomas Massie if he votes the wrong way on this. Massie changed his vote. These guys are terrified of this big money. And they should be. The corrupt Republicans on the U.S. Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas being the deciding vote after, a billionaire had been spiffing him and his family and his mother and his son, or his adopted kid, or whatever they call him, was the deciding vote on Citizens United. So here we've got this $100 million, and then, what does Trump do? He pulls 5 Teslas up to the front of the White House in violation of the Hatch Act and says, hey, everybody, go out and buy a car. Yeah, right. I mean, this is beyond wrong. This is beyond corrupt. This is the kind of stuff you expect to see in pot dictatorships. This is not the kind of behavior that should ever be happening in the United States of America. And again, 75% of the blame here goes right to 5 Republicans on the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, a couple of them are gone, but Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito are still around. And, the damage that they have done to this country with that Citizens United decision is beyond breathtaking. Meanwhile, Mahmoud Khalil has been moved to an insanely brutal detention facility. I'll tell you about that after the break, and I'll pick up your calls. Stay with us. It's 27 minutes past the hour.